Hi everyone, so I'm back. Haven't died yet. What a great start. I'm back from my third series of chemo and things got worse, to say the least. I mean, it's not like I'm dying or it's like there's no chance and no hope, no. But things got a little complicated. I was home for a whole month and it doesn't really happen a lot. You're in home for like max 2 weeks and that's it, and you come back for another chemo. You don't go home for a month, but on the hemato-oncology where there was a renovation, so it took really long, and it just happened that I was home for a month because I couldn't really go there. When I'm back in the hospital, they always do biopsy. They always do biopsy, marrow biopsies, and when they did my biopsy, they found out that my bone marrow is again 50% cancer. So when I was diagnosed with leukemia, my marrow was 60% cancer. Then I was in remission because after first chemo and then another chemo, the level of cancer really got really low. So there was almost no cancer, and I don't know what happened. Maybe I was home too long, but basically it all came back, and I was depressed for 2 weeks. They were giving medicine so I could calm down, because I just couldn't. I was crying for so long because that was so devastating for me. Because of the fact that I have cancer again, a lot of cancer in my marrow, I had to go again for really intense chemo. My first chemo was very tough. If you don't know, chemos are drips and they have sometimes different colors. Usually when they are like red or blue, it means that they are really strong, intense, tough chemos. And I've had the red one first time around, 3 drips of chemo, and obviously the other medicine, other chemos, not only red one. I had really a lot of chemos, but first time around it was a red one, so I was very scared because they told me that it's really intense and tough, and it's called hairdresser, obviously not professionally, but you know. And this time around I had blue chemo, 3 drips of blue chemo for 3 days, and apparently someone told me that it's even more intense and tougher than the red one, and I think it really is. This time I had 3 days off and 3 days, and for these 3 days I had 3 different drips, so that's a lot of chemo. And after those 3 days I had still 2 days of chemo, but not 3 drips but 2 drips each day, so really a lot of chemo. It was really terrible. Whenever I'm on chemo, I just sleep through this week. I don't really feel this chemo that much. This time around I felt everything. I felt really terrible. It was just horrible. I cannot even explain it, because nothing was really aching me that much, but overall I felt really bad. After these 5 days of chemo, then you have to wait till your blood test results are going down, and it means that chemo is working. But when they are very low, you need transfusions, Jesus Christ. So I had a lot of blood transfusions and platelets transfusions. But the thing is, I think today it's Sunday. I got home on Friday. However, on Friday last week I started shivering in the night, and overall I felt like different, something was wrong. I was shivering more and more with each day, and I think on Saturday I was shivering to this point that I thought that at some point I'm going to just move my bed because I was shivering so much. And one of the nurses told me that my this was getting red and it doesn't look really nice, and usually these are very risky to have because you can get infections from those very easily, and it's very comfortable but it's very risky to have, as I said. So as soon as she said that it doesn't really look nice, I got scared, especially that I was starting to get fevers. And I think at like 10 p.m. or something the doctors came and they took a look at this, and he said that everything looks fine and let's wait, they will prescribe me really strong antibiotics. And oh boy, this antibiotic, it was vancomycin, or however you pronounce it, and I had this 4 times a day. It was horrible. Because of this antibiotic, my stomach stopped working, if you know what I mean. But it was very strong. I was praying when will the day come that I will be just done with it. And I think on Tuesday they actually removed this, and I had this. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, I don't know the words. I'm not prepared. Again, I think on Tuesday I was actually crying so much because my head was hurting. My blood pressure was very high, and it's not really normal in my case because my blood pressure is always very low, like 100 on 70 low. It is this low, so that's my normal blood pressure. And on this day I think it was 134 on 100, and I got scared, and even the nurses were scared because I'm young and I'm not really supposed to have blood pressure this high, and I thought that I'm basically dying. Yeah, I'm laughing, but for real, this time around, since it was this time around in the hospital was very tough and intense, and I just felt really bad. And because of all of this, I genuinely thought that there is a possibility of me dying for the first time around, because I was aware that I'm seriously sick. I always knew that in the back of my head, but this time around I actually thought that something will go wrong, that I need to say my goodbyes. I'm laughing, but I genuinely thought that this may be the end, and I'm being serious. And I thought that I need to call my mom and my family as much as I can, because I don't know when the time will come. This was seriously my thinking. I know that you can't really think this way, but again, this time around people died around me. Overall 5 people have died while I was in the hospital. So I've experienced so much death. I never experienced death in my life, and here I am in the hospital being sick on the same disease as all these people that have died, and they fought, and some of them were even after transplant, but the leukemia or whatever, it came back after transplant, because it can come back. I'm scared that this will happen to me. I know that I cannot think this way, but it's just, I can't help it. I'm just really scared that I'm going to die, and I don't want to die. I'm scared that I'm going to spend more time in the hospital than I wish I'd have. And again, when doctor told me on Friday that I'm going home, he also told me that the next planned step in my treatment is transplant, that I am done on the hemato-oncology ward and I'm going to go to the transplantology ward, and I'm going to have a transplant. No more a planned series of chemo. Obviously I'm going to have chemo before transplant, but it's going to look like that. I'm going to have chemo, day off, and transplant. So I don't even count this as a series of chemo, because usually I go there for a chemo. I'm waiting till my blood results are going to go down, and then I'm going to rise again, like usual stuff. Transplant looks different, but I don't know if I'm going to have my transplant yet. And for this whole month I was like thinking, this is my last time here. I'm going to go to have my transplant and be healthy. This was my thinking, and this thing, I think, if not only this thing, it kept me on. What I'm trying to say is that this thought kept me going, that this is the last time I'm here, then I'm going to have my transplant and be free. This only kept me going, but doctor said that we don't know if this is going to happen just yet, that there is a possibility that my bone marrow will again react the same way it reacted last month, meaning I will have cancer again in my marrow. If this will be the case, it has to be on some sort of level for me to be able to have a transplant, but if it won't be on that level, then it means that I'm going to have my 4th series of chemo on the hemato-oncology ward, and then I'm going to have my transplant, and I will still have chemo before transplant, so I would have 5 series of chemo. That's a lot of chemo. How will I survive through this? I have no idea. He said that there is this a possibility, that it doesn't mean that it will happen, but it can happen. This is oh dear God. Me recording this video this is a mess. I'm sorry, I cannot really say anything. What I'm trying to say is that I don't know if I'm going to have my transplant just yet, if cancer will be on a high level, and I will find that out after my biopsy, when I will come back to the hospital in like a week. If we will find out that there is still a lot of cancer, then I'm going to go not on the transplantology ward, as I was hoping I would, but I'm going to go again for my 4th series of chemo on the hemato-oncology ward, and I will have to again wait a month to have my transplant. And this is like, for me, this is the worst case scenario. I'm going to pray that I'm going to go on the transplantology ward and have my transplant now, because I don't know how I'm going to survive this, and if I will find out that there's still a lot of cancer in my marrow, and I will have to go through all of this 4th time, because I really am done with hospitals and I just want to be home again. And God, oh Jesus Christ, what am I doing? Right now I just think that I won't be able to find the strength to go through this all over again. I'm rambling so much. I think this is my worst video ever. And honestly, I'm just done. It's been almost 4 months. I'm just done with hospitals, I'm done with leukemia, I'm done with me being bald, because again, my hair grew back and it started falling again. And if I think this time I'm going to be completely bald, because after my first chemo I wasn't completely bald, but this time around, after my first chemo, after this intense chemo, my hair is falling like crazy. And I think it hurts even more because I was waiting so much for this hair to grow back, and like every day while I was home, and even while I was in the hospital, I was just looking at this hair, how much it grows. It felt nice to like feel hair again on your head, and it's falling again. Even this is upsetting me. This is like the pettiest thing in this sickness, because I should be more concentrated on surviving through chemo, not hair loss. But I'm done with everything. This is my worst video ever. I want to kick myself in the face. So yes, I honestly don't know how will this look like, if I'm going to go to for my transplant, or if I'm going to go for my third series of chemo, and then I'm going to have my transplant. Because I'm so ready for transplant, and I'm so ready to be done with it. I'm obviously very scared of transplant, but I know this is like the last step in this treatment, in this nightmare. This is last step, and I'm going to be healthy. Hopefully I'm going to be healthy, because I don't know this. I don't know. My transplant can be unsuccessful, and then even bigger nightmare may happen, but I'm not even thinking in these categories. I just want to be done with my transplant. I just want to be home again. I'm going to pray that right now there is not cancer multiplying in my bone marrow. I'm just going to pray that that it could go away. I'm rambling, I cannot say anything, but overall this chemo was intense. I was feeling like shit. My bone marrow fucked up. But I'm going to pray that chemo that was this intense really made this cancer fuck off of my bone marrow, at least in some level. But if there is still cancer in my marrow, and if I will have to go through 4th series of chemo and then go to have my transplant, then I will do it, because there is a lot of people that are fighting this with me, and I cannot let them down. I have to fight, if not for me, then for them. Love that I've experienced. I have amazing people around me. Girls that I've met in my uni, they do not even know me for a year. They are angels. They are literal angels. They told me words that people do not get to hear throughout their lifetime. I'm very lucky. They told me amazing stuff, and I'm very rich because I have friends like that. Not only them, but a lot of people that I'm so thankful. You really, I'm out of words. I'm really out of words. But for all these people, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for all this support, because when I'm feeling at my worst, when I'm feeling like I'm going to die, I look at comments, I talk with people, and and they are truly amazing. I cannot even express myself, but I just want to say thank you for supporting me. Thank you for all this love. You are making me want to fight with this and win with this. After all, I survived 3 series of chemo. If I survive this, then hopefully I will survive what's ahead of me with your help. So thank you so much. And I think I should stop here. So, if I'm going to have my transplant, then I will post a video maybe in like 2 months time, because I really will be locked in the hospital for a long time. If I'm going to have my 4th series of chemo in the hematology ward, then I will see you in a month. So again, thank you so much. You have no idea how much you're helping me, even though it's just simple words. But for me it's not. For me it really helps me. It really helps me. You have no idea how much. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And see you in some months or a month, I don't know. So, goodbye.